last test. Who hot nipple pinched you?
I guess.
Okay, say something.
You know, I don't do this shit on cue.
Oh, now Wesley becomes a prima donna.
I'll be in my trailer.
I want my own trailer, and I don't want vegetables. You hear me? I want pizza bread.
I want nothing but vegetables at the butt touch madness again. Come nowhere close to it.
One day we'll be rich, and we'll look back on the days when we podcasted from a
Table. From our Fat Hollywood Palacio
Or
estate.
alternatively, when we are podcasting into a soup can in the apocalypse that's attached to a string and goes nowhere, we'll be like, remember we used to have a mic and other people would hear this?
Whenever we're locked up in Guantanamo Bay talking into rats.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'm going to get the lawyer to be like, I don't want out. I just want stuff.
I just want a nicer rat, one that doesn't bite so much.
Remember when you used to have a hot tub?
Time machine?
I wish.
Those were the days.
I do remember you having a hot tub, and Matt lost his panties in them.
It's true, Matt was wearing women's panties.
Matt had an awesome Hello Kitty thong. Naturally, as soon as he got...
Is it thong panties?
Yeah, it was a thong. And the minute he gets in there, they float to the top. And he's like, naked time, hooray! It's like the Powder Puppet Pals. And he's like chasing everyone around the hot tub. It was hilarious.
Yep. If I didn't have to cough so much, I could just say, we'll just take this as like
I
part
ain't never
of the episode.
seen Peter jump that high before.
We ready?
Yep. This is episode 99, and we'll just announce that since we have Wesley here, we're just going to record 99 and 100 back to back, and say that also Sex Luther's here, but he's shy.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 99 of Those Muckrakers. I'm Pete.
And I'm Pat.
And I'm Wesley.
Can you believe it, folks? We actually have Wesley here. That's not us doing a voice. That's the actual Wesley sitting here with us on the episode 100 special. Oh, except for that's next. But because we have him now, we're just going to go ahead and throw him into episode 99 too. Because we have to get this done.
No one's going to believe that Wesley's real. They're going to think that we just made up a guy and hired a voice actor.
Basically, I mean...
I am not a hologram.
Is that so far-fetched? We also have Sex Luther with us here today. If y'all remember him from episode 50, but he's shy. He's making faces very loudly.
Just give him some ramen with some Mrs. Dash in it. He'll be all right.
So for this episode, I think we're going to do a whole bunch of Dear Wesleys, right?
Basically.
As a celebration of Wesley and Wesleyness.
Yes.
You might actually get my actual response for things.
Right? We don't have to just be all like, "Hard Mrs. Dash." He can do it.
Well, then Wesley can say it. You guys want to jump right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I like these. So sometimes we pull these from viewer mail. Sometimes we find them online. I found this great thread on Reddit called "Am I the Asshole?" Which I love to use as Dear Wesley. So this one says, "Dear Wesley, am I the asshole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiance?"
No, not at all. Like that sounds like a very logical response.
Have you read the rest of it? And I go, that seems right. That seems nice.
Yeah. Like, is this on like the second, third floor? If this is ground level, then no one gets hurt. Just get out that window and go.
Well, let's find out. Some backstory. I've been dating my ex-fiance Sarah for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November of 2020, but I found out at the start of this month she cheated on me. She begged me to give her another chance, but I broke it off. The problem was being that she cheated on us. In my mind, it is completely emasculating and humiliating, so I never told anyone that was the reason we broke up, for obvious reasons. Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up because she cheated, so people have blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. They just think that I dumped her out of the blue. They don't have a very good mom.
They don't fucking read subtext, right? Like there's going to be an undercurrent of tension that you can pick up on if you really pay attention, especially when people break up. Like it's never just for no reason,
right?
So
what was the reason she cheated?
The guy had a dick.
The other guy had a dick.
Well, if he was pinching her nipples correctly, she wouldn't have cheated.
Well, sometimes it doesn't matter how much you pinch the nipples, you know. I've gone on a very strict no contact with Sarah after I discovered she was cheating. Sarah has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we'd be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah, but I've explained there's no chance we will ever get back together. Already, fuck Sarah. Like, you're going to sneak around and, like, talk to fucking somebody's mom after you cheated on them and use them to like use a maximum pressure campaign to like get back together. What an asshole.
That's insane. Like, she knows what she did. The mom doesn't know what's going on here, right? So I can partially forgive her. Maybe she's bad at picking up on things. I mean, people aren't psychic, and I'm never going to fault someone for not being psychic, but Sarah knows what's going on here. She knows, and she's still doing all this shit. So yeah, no, get out that window.
Well, I could give some of my dad's advice. Well, boy, there's nothing wrong with having a piece on the side.
My grandmother had very similar advice. What? She did, because she was trying to date someone in the nursing home.
Wait, was Wesley's dad your grandma's side piece?
Yes, I don't know, maybe.
Having a piece on the side. Wow.
She was telling me about some guy that she had a crush on at the nursing home. And I'm like, Grandma, gross. And my mom was like, you can't do that. He's married. And my grandma looked at her and said, that doesn't matter.
Oh my God, that's the one that put the roach's legs in the sugar, wasn't it?
No, that was the other one.
That one was the insane one.
It was the one that would talk about the Clinton impeachment like really candidly.
Oh, that one.
So it gets worse. So tonight I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting Christmas family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit talking with my aunts and uncles and cousins when the doorbell rings and I can see it's Sarah. I ask, what the fuck is going on? And my mom says she invited Sarah so we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. I'm pissed now because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So as my mom goes to the front door, I go to the bathroom, and my mom starts knocking on the door saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say, fuck it, kick out the window screen and get in my car and go home. My mom called a short while later saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out the window and that Sarah will always be like a child to her. My sister called me after this to ream me out for ruining Christmas. I broke down and told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her and didn't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big asshole who was lying to cover for myself. Am I really in the wrong?
No,
not really, no.
I think this guy, fine. What a fucked up family. Like, how much does your family hate you that they're like, you know what, we always liked your ex better than you, and you are done, but they are going to take your place.
Yeah, so all of his Christmas presents go to her now.
I think this would go back to another episode. I would go fuck Sarah's dad.
I feel like that is the best course of action here. Just hook up with him.
Like, that would makes me so mad that not only did she cheat on this guy, but then, like, she also, like, is fucking with his family now. I would just make sure I was at her family Christmas next year when she walked in. I'm just like rubbing her dad's leg and going, there's nothing wrong with a little piece on the side, especially when it's a Papa Bear.
But why would you be ashamed if she's the one cheating?
Because it feels like horrible to have to admit that somebody like did you like that and like.
Fuck that! I'd tell everybody.
But like so it depends. But it's like hurtful. And it's not something you want to relive.
Yeah.
It's like
you may have to relive it, but if you go out there and say, this bitch cheated on me, and tell everybody in the neighborhood and make her out to be the neighborhood whore, she'll get her comeuppance.
I might run out of
and everybody will feel sorry for you and love you, and you can go and marry and everything will be fine.
I mean, like after this,
and they'll say you're not the father because she's a bitch.
I might run out. I might run out of billboard after this, like in her doing stuff with the family.
You'll just take out billboards.
I just take out billboard ads that like Sarah is a bitch who cheated on me and ruined Christmas, just all up and down the county.
I would get behind that. I would throw money into your GoFundMe for that.
I kind of love that this guy like kicked out the bathroom window and like escaped.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I totally.
Well, he should at least be nice enough to fix the bathroom window for his mom. That way she won't have nothing to bitch about.
Fair enough, but
that's like getting over here. I had to put gas in the truck so that Mom wouldn't bitch at me about driving the truck.
That's right. Wesley had to travel to get here. 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
I like that it was 30 minutes, but in the discussions, like Pat was like, "It's going to take me 6 hours."
It actually took me almost an hour to get here, driving at the speed limit.
Well, I got faster and I managed to pry Mom's hands off the side of the car. We were able to speed up. I kept slamming her fingers in it, but she's got really tough fingers.
I had to stick my shirt out the window for breath.
for her age. Oh.
I was like, Mom, you're slowing down the truck.
God damn it! Now I'm doing the Wesley voice.
You're always doing the Wesley voice. Your voice is like when Kevin Smith was talking to Jason Mewes whenever they first started filming Clerks, and Jason Mewes was like, "Well, what the fuck is all these lines? Snoochie boochies? Why would I say that?" And Kevin Smith is like, "I don't know. Why do you say that? I just wrote your words into the script."
Because you do say it.
I don't.
Oh, I don't say it. They just keep saying I say it. Don't believe them.
So we all agree that Sarah's the asshole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only say nipple pinching for the benefit of the audience.
For the fringe benefits.
So we got another one. Wesley, am I the asshole if I stop paying my daughter's tuition over a disgusting comment she made towards my new girlfriend?
I think it would.
No. It depends. Now, what
say
comment did
yes,
she make?
I want to say yes, he is the asshole, but let's get into it.
So my 56-year-old wife died at the young age. Wait, what? I'm sorry. He's 56. His wife died at 51 in a car accident, and he was in deep mourning for about a year. He met a new girlfriend who's 43 around January, and was the only person that made him laugh for the first time after his wife died. And she's smart as hell, 3 Ivy League degrees. She has a dark sense of humor that I love, a terrific cook, and overall amazing woman who I can imagine spending the rest of my life with. She is also on the heavier side, a fact that becomes relevant later. I have 2 children. One's 25 and a male, and the other's a 19-year-old female. This person is like a robot, like 29-year-old male, 29-year-old female. Like,
my question: does she put Mrs. Dash in the ramen?
I think she does.
Oh.
Wesley's like, very nice. Where can I hook
So
up
they
with
were
her?
well aware that I'd gotten a new girlfriend before I introduced them to C. He's calling his girlfriend C this summer. Or his daughter C. I don't know who C is. Anyway, to introduce his kids to his girlfriend. She got along immediately with them, but I guess the daughter was very standoffish. After the initial meeting, I asked my daughter if there was something wrong, and she denied it. She made a few more attempts to get to know my daughter, but they were all rudely rejected. Everyone came home for Thanksgiving. And I asked my daughter to be polite during the meal, since she's always been rude in her interactions with my girlfriend, even though my girlfriend has been nothing but gracious in return. The dinner was going well as it could have for the first 10 minutes, although I noticed my daughter glaring at my girlfriend the entire time. That's weird.
You're not my mom.
Somebody jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody jelly.
When my girlfriend went to grab her third helping of mashed potatoes, my daughter said, "Don't you think you've eaten enough, you fat pig?" My girlfriend started sobbing immediately and ran off into the bedroom, and I felt my face turn red, and I told my daughter to get out. About half an hour after I left, I texted her stating that I would no longer pay her tuition unless she apologized, and my girlfriend accepts the apology. She must have assumed that I was bluffing, because she instead doubled down on her behavior. I then logged into her university's tuition payment website, canceled next semester's tuition, and sent her the screenshots. She called me crying and begged me to reconsider, but I told her my mind was made up. Am I the asshole?
No, absolutely not. So he gave her
What a bitch.
He gave her a chance to repent, and she turned it down.
Well, it's also weird to be eating. I feel like there's gotta be...
Okay, first of all, she was a major asshole to this guy's, or to her dad's girlfriend.
Well, you wonder if something else happened,
for no
right?
reason,
because,
too.
I've never been at a dinner where someone's just like eating and just angrily staring unless something else occurred, right?
She cheated on her.
Maybe it was Sarah.
That's the thing that no one knows.
My new girlfriend's name is Sarah. She said she was engaged to some guy, and well, I guess it didn't work out.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like I've never. That's such a middle school thing to do, right? Like to insult somebody while they're getting like second helpings.
Yes, that's insane.
She's jelly. She automatically doesn't like her because she thinks that it's a betrayal to her mom.
I mean,
but it's
I'm
not.
sure that's part of it.
It's not. She should be happy for her father.
Well, also
because he's being happy with this chubby lady.
But also,
if he likes Jello,
also she's
Jello.
Also, she's 29. Like, it's not like they're 8 and they're like, I don't know how to process emotions. You're not my real mom.
Yeah, if she was like 8 to 15, I could excuse this, but this is just super weird.
I mean,
she's that old. And
19. Sorry, 19. Thank you, Sex Luther. Either way, 19. I don't know, man.
6
That's still outside of the cutoff age, I think.
I don't know if I would cut off her tuition. I think I might just be like, you're not invited back to Thanksgiving.
I mean,
good luck in your life.
The reason I'm okay with him cutting off her tuition is because, he'll keep paying it if she'll just apologize and, stop being a terrible person.
Over mashed potatoes, too? If it was cornbread, I could understand, but...
I've always said, man...
mashed potatoes? What a bitch.
One of the most important... Also, nobody can accurately gauge how much mashed potatoes you're trying to get. Is that just me?
I don't care for mashed potatoes that much. They give me gas.
I love mashed potatoes.
But I've never
I can eat those till the end of time.
I've never been able to get just the right amount of mashed potatoes. I always get
always
way,
like a massive
way
amount.
too much or way
There's
too
got to
little.
be those
so
red-skinned ones.
Then I got to go back 5 times because I'm trying to not get a giant pile of mashed potatoes. So then I look like a fat pig.
Yep.
Do they give you gas though?
Potatoes? No.
Then you're good.
I mean, I fart all the time anyway.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much fart powered at this point
Ooh.
in my life.
Yep.
If we could harness it and figure out how to fuel cars with it,
wind power.
Yeah.
You could send me some gold bars.
I just put a tiny little fan over my ass, and every time I fart,
pipe it into your gas tank.
Perfect.
But what are you going to get to hold it?
Tape.
Somebody lights a cigarette, it'll blow the fucking car to hell. Oops! Yeah. I threw the cigarette out the window. The car blows all to hell.
Does Wesley know that gas is also highly flammable, but they have a way to contain it?
I don't think Wesley does.
It is. Wesley's car does run on potatoes.
That's
and
true.
Yours.
He has it keeps potatoes in the trunk that somehow power it. I think there's little things in there you stick in potatoes and gathers the energy. Like how you light a light bulb for a science project.
Well, my car is currently out of commission, but I do have Mom and Dad's truck, which is powered by hell if I know. It just skips and goes.
It's powered by he just pushes it down the road. Like Al Bundy with his old, what was that he drove? A Dodge? He just pushed it down the interstate?
Yeah, it runs about like Al Bundy's old Dodge.
But yeah, so I definitely think that he's not being the asshole.
Right? No, not at all.
No.
I think that's maybe an appropriate response, but...
The daughter's being a real bitch.
I feel like there's got to be more to that story than that. Like, that seems like...
Yeah, I think the daughter was in a relationship with his dad's current girlfriend for a while, and then they broke up because she's like, yeah, I found someone else. I cheated on you with them. I'm here. And then she comes over for dinner, and she's like, oh, fuck.
I really
realizes, you cheated on me with my dad.
I don't like
so she's just sitting there eating the potatoes, glaring at her. It's like, you know what you did.
I really don't like awkward family dinners.
I don't like family dinners.
Neither do I.
This Thanksgiving, I was really...
Which is why we never eat together.
This Christmas, I was really worried that it was just everything was gonna fall apart over politics.
Yeah.
But then I managed to always steer it away from politics by just telling a weird story about something that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's like, yeah, would you mind migrating those rolls over here? And someone's like, migrate. I'm like, hey, you guys want to hear about the time I pooped myself as an adult?
Which time? Tell us about it.
It completely steered away from anything to do with politics, which was nice.
My brother, he's the one that kept trying to bring up politics. Like, my mom knows that I don't like the president, so she'll at least keep her mouth shut about it.
Yeah.
But Kelly kept being like, oh, I can't believe they're trying to do this impeachment. Can you believe they're trying to do this still? I'm like, just staring at my phone.
Whoa.
Be like, Kelly, buddy, you don't live here. And, I know you came in through the front door, but you're about to leave through the bathroom window, like this guy from our podcast.
You should
shut up.
You should really install a soundboard so you can have sound effects for dramatic effect whenever you're saying some things.
Well, if we ever get that morning radio show set up, we'll definitely be like, we're gonna get a soundboard tech and be like, yeah, just play the fart sounds anytime this happens.
That would be fun. We talked about that early on, adding sound effects in through the whole thing.
Yeah, but then we were like, we're not the wacky morning zoo.
Yeah, that requires way more energy than we're able to put in. We can be like the wacky morning zoo people for the first 5-6 minutes.
Welcome to the Little Muckrakers. I'm Pete, and this is the fart. I'm the fart. Woo! And then your job is just to say weirdly off-putting racist and sexist things. We're like, today a local man's dog got out of the yard, and you're just like, I haven't seen my wife in a couple days. Some weird. The people are like, did he call his wife a dog? I don't know why that's funny.
Oh, that's where my wife went. Oh, was it a black lab?
We played fart sound. and then some Led Zeppelin.
I would need way more coffee to be able to maintain that level of energy.
I would need way more drugs just to make my brain check out.
Just sitting here doing lines of coke, and then Pete. That
I
would
hate
be.
those people. All right, you guys ready for the third one?
Yeah, hit us
All
with
right.
it.
Wesley, am I an asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me?
No, that sounds funny.
That sounds like something I wish I had figured out when I was working customer service.
I like that whenever you used to be a valet, you had a tunnel that you were working on to like escape from that place.
Oh, I was really bored, and I found out the bricks were loose down in the basement, so I started removing them. And
digging behind it.
Yeah.
You were like doing your own Shawshank tunnel, except instead of a poster, you just had bricks that you would replace at the end of the day.
yeah, I was just bored. There's all kinds of weird catacombs in Savannah, so I think that was one of the bricked up weird catacombs that I was trying to get into.
Nice. I wish that you had finished that tunnel.
I was working as an overnight valet, and I was just exhausted. So when I wasn't driving someone's stupid car, I was asleep in my own. Like I would turn my walkie-talkie up in case they needed me, and I would just go get in my car and try to take a nap.
I wonder how many times you like slept through a call.
No,
to
they
the
were
best of your
pretty-
knowledge ever. Or?
No, they were pretty loud,
Okay.
and they knew where I was at, so the front desk lady could just come and get me if she had to.
Okay.
That job sucked. All right, Wesley. I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers. James, the owner's son, he goes to my school. He's a shift manager. He's a real friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who works weekends too. Sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about little stuff. Sounds like Fred's. Like,
Yeah.
literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad your life has to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on a high school and college kids. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hoping to get them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. Already, like, right there, like, the coffee's not hot enough. They legally can't make it any hotter. Like, there's certain standards.
Partly because of the Walmart lady, or not Walmart, McDonald's lady.
I think that might have been part of it because everyone likes to talk about a frivolous lawsuit. But
By the way, that was a PR masterstroke there, trying to make that lady out to be like the bad guy, saying, "Oh, she spilled coffee on herself and shoot because it was hot." But in real life, that was like not what happened at all. And she had
got,
like serious third-degree burns.
Yeah, that she should not have had from that coffee. And then she only sued McDonald's to pay the medical bills.
Yeah,
And they didn't want to pay the medical bills.
You mean they're talking about coffee in the break room, or are they bitching about the customers being
No, the
bitchy?
customer comes in and he's like, "This coffee's not hot enough!" Like,
yeah.
and he can't make the coffee hotter.
Oh.
Like you can't change the temperature on the machine. It comes out of a machine, it goes in a cup, they hand it to you, you give them money. Like,
Reminds me of the time I was a cashier back in the day at Family Dollar. Whenever I worked there at a cash register, you can't just sit there at the damn cash register. You have to zone the area that you're in that's pulling everything to the front to make the shelves look full.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I did that a lot at Circle K.
this guy didn't want to wait on me for 2 moments to walk my fat ass up there to the counter to check him out. So he leaves his stuff on the counter and says, "I ain't got time to wait on y'all," and walks out the store just to try and piss me off. I said, "Okay, thank you. Have a good one. Bye."
Welcome to Moe's.
And then the next customer come in. I say, "Hello, welcome to Family Dollar." You know, if you talk to them in a monotone and be friendly to them regardless of how they treat you, it pisses them off even worse if they're in one of those bad moods.
Because they want a reaction from you, yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Give
guy,
them no reaction. Either that or, well, you're zoning, you bend down real low and pull the mouthwash forward and fart real loud, and your customer's only a few feet away, and they're like, "I'm ready!" and you walk over nonchalantly like nothing went on. Like you're perfectly innocent. And you're like, "How may I help you today, sir?"
because no one likes to acknowledge farts. So this guy's freaking out over the hot coffee, right? He's yelling at this high school kid. High school kid's manager, James, comes in and goes, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy starts screaming at him too. So he was just like, "That is unacceptable." So James goes to the guy, then he goes, "This is unacceptable. You're fired." So I started acting real sad and going, "Please, no, don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to, take off my apron and leave. And then the angry guy started to backtrack, like, it's not that big. You don't need to fire him over it. I didn't mean it. And his manager goes, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." And then, of course, the guy left and he still had his job. And now he's done it a couple of times whenever the customers lose their temper. The other person working with him will just storm in and be like, "You're fired! Back up your shit!" And every time the person that was freaking out apologizes, he says it's kind of satisfying. He goes, "Anyway,
what happens if they come back and find him still working there?"
I think I know about this, but he's telling friends at school, and they go, "What a mean prank to let someone think they got someone fired. Am I the asshole for this joke?"
No.
I think he doesn't have to worry about them coming back in, because would you want to come back into a place where you had gotten the high school barista fucking fired over something that wasn't their fault? I'd be kind of embarrassed.
You know what? I would be scared to go back because I would assume that everyone else saw me do this and would spit in my drink.
Or everybody that goes there is just like, "This is the dick that got the barista fired."
Yeah.
That's sort of a non-issue in retail, really. Most of the time, you don't have to worry about shit like that. What you really have to worry about is when you're the assistant manager and somebody comes up to your cashier with their dick poking out of the top of their pants with a hard-on, making it look like they're harassing your cashier, and your cashier just can't acknowledge that it's there, but she's being flashed at the same time, and you're like, "Leave, motherfucker, leave."
So when did you have a hard-on and flash it at someone?
That was the other day, but I'm talking about for my cashier.
I didn't think about that someone's like, "I'm going to go flash somebody at the Family Dollar."
Oh, that shit happens all the time. We get flashed, people shitting the floor in the corner.
What? Why?
People shitting the mop bucket. Well, the migrants mostly shitting the mop buckets.
Oh no, Wesley's one of those. A Trump supporter.
No. I don't want to get into politics of that nature.
On the Politics Podcast, we don't get involved in the politics, so you don't have to.
I'll get into local politics.
No, but I like the fake firing because I think it also hopefully teaches these people an empathy lesson about maybe don't go in and freak out on the customer service person, because it's not their fault your life sucks.
Yeah, I'm still on this guy's side because that sounds super amusing to me. I like that plan.
Working in retail, I wouldn't do that though.
Pretend to get fired?
No, I wouldn't.
Or actually, you're the manager, so you'd pretend to you'd be the one pretending to fire someone, right?
I wouldn't put through that because I had to go through the whole process of even hiring people, and hiring people is a pain in the ass.
Well, you're not really fired.
He's not actually getting fired. Yeah. You're pretending to so that the customer feels bad.
I know, but in small towns,
everyone knows everyone. Oh, right. Wesley comes from a place where there's 10 people, so they would know if John lost his job.
It wouldn't work in my situation.
Yeah, the town Wesley's from, he would be firing his cousin because his brother-in-law yelled at his cousin, so then he'd go home and his mom would be like, "Why did you fire your cousin?"
Why did you fire Jimbo?
Because your brother-in-law... Yeah, that's like when we were driving over here today. I was like, man, I can't even flip people off in this town because I'm afraid they're going to be related. To, it would be like my stepdad's mom, and then his cousin would be like, "Why did you flip your stepdad's mom off today in front of the friends?" And I'd be like, everybody's here is related.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll never hear this, but I do have a cousin that's also my uncle.
Uncle cousin, I like that.
Mm-mm.
This is Georgia.
I was going to say the most molestery of relatives.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, Wesley's his own grandpa because he married his grandmother.
Which one's more molestery, uncle cousin or uncle dad?
Uncle cousin?
Uncle cousin?
It sounds more molestery.
Neither one of y'all have provoked a you and yours out of me yet. Have you figured that out yet?
We got time.
Yeah, but we're still being nice because it's episode 99. Episode 100 will provoke you.
Episode 100, we just land a Wesley.
I feel so unappreciated because I haven't been provoked yet.
Speaking of episode 99, have you been keeping track of how much time has passed?
I have not, Pat. I figured we would just make this episode last indefinitely. Forever.
I mean, that sounds good to me.
This is the episode that never ends. It goes on and on, my
That damn
friends.
song gets stuck in my head. Don't sing that.
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because. Why, Wesley? This.
You and yours.
You and yours.
Oh, some of these Am I the Asshole are really sad, so I'm trying to
give me something juicy. Good.
Okay, am I an asshole for telling my ex-girlfriend's daughter that I abandoned that I am not her father?
I abandoned I am not her father?
I don't know why he calls it his ex-girlfriend's daughter, because apparently it's his daughter, and he says he abandoned her, but is he...
Oh, he abandoned her.
Is he an asshole for telling her that he's not her father?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Why is that a question?
People submit all kinds of stuff to Reddit, and then we ask Wesley about it.
I'm going to get a tissue on this one.
Okay, watch out for the cord.
I don't want to read that one. That one just makes me real sad.
We'll read it.
No, go for it.
All right. Because some of these are, I feel bad.
I can't hear you from in there, Wesley.
Wesley, this is a podcast. You have to be near the microphone. I'm just going outside for a minute. Can you guys still hear me? It's not a conversation. It has to be recorded.
Oh no! I just realized Wesley's the Donald Trump of the group. He just like wanders off out of the room. No, you got to sign it, sir.
10 years ago, I walked out on my ex-girlfriend and her daughter. Okay, so maybe... all right, this makes more sense. I walked out on my ex-girlfriend and her daughter, who is now 13. Why? Because it turned out that my daughter wasn't actually mine. My ex had cheated. I confronted her. She broke down. I walked out. It was messy because of the amount I spent on lawyers. I have had no contact since. This is till now. I got a Facebook message from her daughter, which was very abrasive. She's accusing me of abandoning her. What kind of father does that? It seems my ex didn't have the guts to admit her infidelity. I told her that I'm not her father, that her mother cheated. She didn't take it well, but I provided evidence. She actually had the maturity to apologize. Now my ex got a hold of my Facebook and has been blowing up my messenger, calling me an asshole and all sorts of stuff. Even my sister said I shouldn't have told her. Am I the asshole? That's a tough one, man. Like,
so she's not actually his daughter.
Right, but the ex is like, that's your father.
So how many years did he think he was the father?
I assumed it was like a short time.
Most of the years?
But yeah, that's a tough one because it's not the daughter's fault. But also, where's the other dude? Why is this just on him? Like, why doesn't his ex contact the real father and be like, you got a daughter? So I mean, I don't think he's an asshole. I think he's kind of shit. I think it's kind of shitty, not necessarily his fault, but
even if it was a year, if he loves the girl as a daughter,
that's true.
He should still be the father.
But he also feels betrayed and like.
I think that children are expensive, so if he could GTFO, go for it because it's not his daughter.
If you put the time and effort in loving somebody,
wouldn't it be?
That is your daughter, even if it ain't by blood.
Didn't he raise her since she was born? If he thought that he was the father, it should be 14 years.
I think for a period of time, and I think then he left, and now she's 13.
Oh, okay. So it was
you
like
may not
a few
be
years.
Genetically the father.
I don't think he abandoned a 13-year-old. I would say I would stay in the kid's life and help raise it as long as her real father paid me child support.
That'll work. Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be like, I want a little extra scratch for.
That's a lot of.
If I was being paid to raise a kid,
scratch though.
Yeah, but they don't mention and it's kind of shitty. I think the real asshole is his ex for not telling the daughter about the real situation and just letting this guy be an asshole.
And if the real father signs his rights away, she won't get shit either way.
Yeah. So I don't think he's the asshole. I think it's shitty though. I think it's a shitty thing and I don't know. You gotta. I don't.
Oh, yeah, that's just a really sad story.
Right? I didn't want to read it, but you were like, "Go ahead, Pete. Read it. It'll be fun. We'll have a few laughs."
Oh, come
I'm
on,
having
Pete.
fun.
Find us a good sex scandal.
I mean, I market these things as a comedy podcast instead of politics these days, just so
funny.
Just for liability purposes. But I mean, I don't know. It's not technically a comedy show. I never said it was a comedy show.
For it to be comedy, it'd have to be funny.
Yeah, which it definitely is not.
I mean, the what do you call it? We can do the old ones, the Dear Abbeys, Dear Wesleys.
We
find
definitely
us a
need to do
good
that.
sex scandal. Every good podcast needs
Find us a good Dear Abby.
Good sex scandal.
In the meantime, let's introduce Wesley to the audience. Audience, this is Wesley, a fictional character we made up. Say hello.
Hello. I actually do exist, unfortunately.
Why unfortunately?
That's just a voice I did. Didn't I sound like I was a different person? Very funny.
Hello.
Hello!
And like a good ventriloquist, we can probably talk at the same time.
I got a good Dear Abby, Dear Wesley. Birthday party guest list does not include newborn.
Do you have to include it?
Does the newborn need to RSVP?
I don't think so. Couldn't someone just bring the baby?
Right, because but you don't have to be like also.
Baby, show me your ID before you're entering the door.
I'm sorry, sir. Your baby can't be your +1.
Baby, I am your father.
So my brother and sister-in-law were trying to have a baby using artificial insemination. A few months into a very difficult pregnancy, they were told the baby had many life-threatening defects and asked if they wanted to terminate because the baby had little, if any, chance of surviving. They chose to carry the baby to natural birth. A month or so before she was due, she went into labor. The baby lived for only a few hours. They had a funeral, and it was a very sad event. A month later on the due date...
I'm cheered up.
Sorry, this gets weird. A month later, on the due date, they started organizing a birthday party for their 10-year-old daughter and invited 30 to 40 people. They contacted my son and daughter-in-law, who had been pregnant at the same time and had given birth to a healthy baby, and they asked them not to bring their newborn. Other babies a year old or older are invited. How should I respond? Leave the baby at home? Refuse the invitation? Was it proper for them to throw a party and unwelcome a newborn?
I wouldn't even go. Just say, fuck you.
Well, it's tough because I feel like if they're hurting over losing their baby, and I guess maybe they have
They
baby
are,
envy.
but don't be envious. Don't.
Wouldn't seeing this baby that you're related to just make you happy that, like, oh, here's this, I'm sorry we lost our baby, but here's...
Well,
I mean, maybe if they're bringing it as a gift.
I lost a nephew not too long ago. And
Did you ever find him again?
No.
Where'd you leave him?
He passed away.
Did you check between the couch? Did you check between the couch cushions?
That one's... Don't go there. But anyway,
Yo, he didn't give you and yours.
that's a don't go there.
Okay.
But anyway, he had a cousin that was born around the same age. And it was difficult somewhat, but it was okay seeing the cousin that survived,
Right.
even though he didn't. So there's a little awkward tension there, but they could have put up with it. We put up with it.
It just seems weird to, like, specifically uninvite the baby, like...
It's ridiculous.
I don't think that would stop the baby from coming. Couldn't they just bring it? I mean, are they just going to leave it at home with the cat?
No, I think they're going to leave it with somebody else, like a babysitter or whatever, but, at first...
But yeah, I wouldn't come if I couldn't bring my baby inside.
Yeah,
I don't
fuck
know. Y'all then.
I mean, at that point, I'd be kind of attached to the baby.
Yeah.
I'd be like, we're not going to go party without the baby.
It was us.
I like how that one looked funny, and then it got mean and sad, too. Like...
Yeah, that was too sad.
I was
Find
like-
some sex scandal.
I was like,
That's what Wesley's been wanting, sex.
I was like, this is going to be fun. The baby didn't RSVP. And they're like, our baby died.
I'll have you know I got laid yesterday.
Did your dad know about it?
You and yours.
Da, 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 da,
No,
da,
Peter,
da.
I don't kiss and tell.
Oh, no, I'm still trying to find...
Right. I need to fill in the airtime while he's doing that. So, Wesley, whenever you voted for Brian Kemp, how happy were you?
Good God, man, I didn't vote for that bastard. I voted for Abrams.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about that.
She would have actually put funding back into the colleges and people wouldn't have to be relying on student loans as much anymore.
You
But-
think so?
Yeah.
Because I'm still drowning in debt years after I've graduated.
Well, you went to an
Accredited.
no.
A real college?
You and yours.
Okay.
I knew I was going to fall into that trap when I went to a technical college.
I did too.
Technically.
At first.
You did too at first, but you switched over to the big shot university.
Because someone would pay for it, and that just gave me something to do for a few years. There's my diploma behind you, sitting on the floor where it belongs.
At least yours is in a frame. Mine's in a box somewhere.
And,
I don't even have a diploma for my master's degree.
Really? They didn't give it to you?
Do you
Send it
know?
to me or whatever. I don't know.
It's just lost in the
I
mail
think
somewhere. Are you sure you graduated? How do you? The only thing you get for it's a piece of paper. If they don't give you the piece of paper, then
No, I'm sure I graduated.
does
You
it
know,
count?
the only one in my family that has more.
Do you have to print it out
diplomas than me.
yourself, or?
Maybe.
I got 2 technical college diplomas,
Uh-huh.
but the only person in my family that has more diplomas than me is Dad because of how many times he graduated DUI school.
That's amazing.
I was about to say, if your dad graduated from college, is he aware of this? Did he get really high one day and just wander through 2 years of college?
I love that he's like the summa cum laude of DUI school.
He would go to DUI school, same night, come home, get drunker than shit where he couldn't even walk, and then the next day go back to DUI school and do it all over again.
He should definitely ask for his money back.
Yep.
Well, I got another Dear Wesley, but it's not loading for some reason.
He would talk about how bad drinking was at 1 minute and be drunk in a few hours later.
Drinking is so bad. Blah, blah, blah. Ah.
Like gummy berry juice, bump, 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 and then you just start bouncing around.
And then, at the most awkward moment, I bend forward and fart, and Wanda says, walk around the table.
Yeah, that was always a rule that I made up when I was a kid, but I don't really remember why. I think I was just trying to get him to like waft it about so that it wouldn't be like a concentrated fart in one spot, right?
I forgot I'm supposed to call you Pat in this podcast.
I mean, we were billed by name forever ago, like episode 2.
So whenever Pat's mom ever finally listens to it, it's going to be really fun.
He's a different person. It must be because they don't call him by Wilder. Rawr.
He's a smoke smell.
I like to think that'll throw her off.
He finally gave up the smoke smell.
But I remember like episode 2, Peter's like Wilder or Pat or whatever, Wilder Patrick Thrift, and so yeah, now all my enemies can find me. Great. Now the government will know exactly who to send to Gitmo.
Oh, they already know, man.
A lot of people probably wouldn't believe that your real name is Peter Griffin.
We've also never said his full name on the podcast.
Well, I guess to be fair, we've given Wesley's address on the podcast. So
Wesley Dustin Bowen, Peter James Griffin.
kind of like...
I didn't know your middle name was James.
Matthew Sherbert Scott.
There's a Star Trek reference in there. I like that. Captain Peter T. Kirk.
I didn't know that was a Star Trek reference.
I think he's making stuff up now.
Yep.
I am.
John Luke Picard.
He's actually fixing to have his own series at the end of January, which will be great.
Is it a series? I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a series.
Did he agree to it, or is this like just something they're doing to him?
He agreed to
all
it.
of my chambers.
He's actually going to be brought back, and it's going to be the future. It's going to pick up where TNG left off.
Huh. Well then.
Well, actually, it's going to pick up where every other series left off.
Speaking of Matthew Scott Fitzgerald, did we lose him?
I think Sex Luthor left.
Have any of y'all ever
We lost our only live
got
audience.
around to watching
Damn.
The Mandalorian? The first season is already out. But what I freaking hate is the fact that they have started cutting shows down to 8 episodes per series.
Well, I freaking hate is that Baby Yoda. Oh, they need to get rid of that.
I like Baby Yoda.
I have not seen any of The Mandalorian yet, but I'm aware of Baby Yoda.
All
They
right.
got a meme
'Cause it
out with
sits around
Baby
and
Yoda
eats.
doing the force choke on that lady, and she's like, "Oh yes, harder."
First time I saw it, I thought he was drinking coffee, but then I hear later that it's soup. Because he's just standing there holding the cup, right? So you think, makes me think of like Kermit holding the glass of tea and just like sort of...
He's hilarious. He just walks around Tatooine grabbing these frog things and eating them.
All right, we ready?
Oh, we finally got it up? All right, let's do it.
Dear Wesley, am I the asshole for severely punishing my nieces and nephews for waking me up for the third morning in a row?
Yes.
No.
My niece and nephew wake me up all the time. I don't care. It's just, you deal with it, right?
And then they have to be punished.
Let's, but anyway, let's hear it.
I'm staying at my wife's parent. I hate the way they explain this. They can't say like, I'm staying at like, my father-in-law or my mother-in-law. Sounds like, I'm staying at my wife's parents' home.
I am staying at my uncle's brother's nephew's
Yeah.
cousin's former roommate.
I'm actually staying at these people's home who I married their daughter. And you're like, you mean your parent-in-laws? Your in-laws, say your in-laws. I'm staying with them for a week around Christmas, New Year's. My wife's 2 sisters are here too, and they have 2 kids each, 5 to 9. My wife and I, we're in our late 20s. We don't have kids.
So go back. He's living there. He's just like going
I
to
was
visit.
just staying there for the holidays.
Fucking suck it up if they're just... Yeah, my niece and nephew are over for the holidays too. I never care if they wake me up because I'm like, well, fuck it. Like, this is a temporary thing and I want them to like me when they leave, so I'm not going to yell at them. I'll just put up with whatever.
I mean,
it's
that's-
easy to just sort of suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, when you're staying at someone else's place, like...
That too.
When me and dear girlfriend came down for the holidays, we stayed at her folks' place, and, like, we had to sleep on an air mattress in the living room, so, like, I'm an old man, so I'm like, well, it's getting close to 7 o'clock, better turn in. But, like, the family stays up till, like, 12 or 1 in the morning, so I'm like, really fading here. Oh, if I could go to sleep. But, like, at the same time, like, I bitched about it privately, but I wasn't like, I'm gonna punish everyone!
I'm handing out spankings. Everyone get over here.
Like, so he says, I'm really close to them, and I love these kids immensely. I'll engage with them however I can, invent fun games like run around and pretend I'm a monster. Buddy, you didn't invent that game.
I made this up all by myself.
I've invented all these games. I call this one Checkers.
I'm waiting to see how he punishes them and if this is going to get dark. Right? Like Billy clubbing them and locking them in the closet.
I help put
have
them
to
to sleep.
pee your pants.
I don't like this. So he helps feed them, put them to sleep, and
How old are they?
discipline them when they misbehave. i.e. put them in timeouts. I don't think anybody should be disciplining a kid except for the parent.
You know, I was picturing them like the same age as my niece and nephew, which clearly they're not.
They're
My
not
niece and
college.
nephew were like, 18 and 20?
Yeah,
So-
it's probably best if the parents do all the disciplining because it can cause family rifts.
Yeah. He says, parents will always take my side in punishments. This guy really seems like he's into punishment.
It does.
Etc. I'm the only adult that will actively engage and play with them most of the day, whereas the other adults mostly
Ooh.
give them an activity and let them cure on themselves. I'm not disparaging anyone, just want to show that we're genuinely close. All the kids call me the fun one. Yeah, this guy's a molester.
Seems that
Yeah,
way.
I don't like that actively engage and play with them. That sounds so...
And then
Engage with
he
them
likes
all
to be
day
called
long,
the
and
fun one.
And I remember that I had the monster out for them.
That's
So-
like Freddy Krueger.
Every time we stay here, the kids make a lot of noise in the morning from 7 to 8 a.m. onwards.
You should be up by then anyway.
Often right outside the bedrooms. Even with earplugs in and my phone playing white noise on full volume all night, it wakes me up and everyone in the house dozens of times.
Okay.
They've been told every night before sleep to be quiet in the morning, but it never works. Yeah, because they're kids. They
Yeah.
don't remember anything from one day to the next. Like every day to them, and it's amazing. Every day to them is a whole new day and a whole new universe.
It's
Whereas-
like 51st dates, just the next day
But
everything's
in like a
wiped clean.
wonderful way, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 51st
Yeah.
dates, but in the best way. Where we're living like the worst, just like, oh, another fucking day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they tell them to be quiet, and then it never works. Every morning, he has to get out of bed at least once and tell them to be quiet and stay downstairs, which I'm thanked for. I said last night, while putting them to sleep tomorrow, they can only play Mario Kart on the Nintendo Switch, which they love, and I'll only take them to the park tomorrow if they are all quiet in the morning and I don't get woken up. Today they were noisy again, and I followed through with the punishment. They insisted not all of them were making noise, so they all shouldn't be punished, and I said no. I got woken up by multiple screaming voices, and the deal was you all had to be quiet. Cue extremely grumpy kids screaming it's not fair. They wouldn't calm down, so I said, no Switch tomorrow either! Unless they behave. Don't wake us up in the morning, and I won't take them to the park tomorrow either. Their mothers both said, if he told you not to do something, you don't listen, he can punish you. My wife said I should stop the punishment now as it's too severe, including extending it to a second day. Plus, it wasn't all the kids that were making noise. Plus, it's Christmas, and they should be having fun together. I said no. I made the threat of punishment, and I'm not going to back down now. Full disclosure, my wife and I sometimes discuss, not argue, that perhaps I'm severe with my punishments and punish bad behavior that most other people would let slide. My view is that discipline is important, and I balance it out by playing with them as much as I can, being as fun as I can. Wesley, am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, holy shit. Just like, I mean, I gave all my rants earlier. That's still how I feel now.
What a draconian asshole.
He is an asshole and possibly a child molester.
Yeah.
Like, that's the
Most
conclusion that I've come to.
definitely.
Yeah, because anybody that's just like, they have to be punished.
I'm the fun one here. If they want to play with my monster, they have to behave and never tell anyone.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the belt again.
He seems like the creepy one in court whenever they're convicting him of just like multiple molestations. He's just going to be like, I'm the fun one! I'm the fun one! As like the bailiffs drag him out.
I said over easy!
You'll all be punished! Ah!
And how are you to live? I'm gonna punish you and you!
Just frothing at the mouth. Yeah, dude, if kids wake you up, it's what they fucking do. Now, like, if it was like 3 a.m, I'd be like, guys, come on. You gotta go to bed. But like, yeah, I think 7 and 8 is a reasonable time to fucking wake your ass up anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have to have patience as a teacher anyway.
I think that if you're gonna engage with the kid, like if you don't want to get woken up, go stay in a hotel room.
You know who else needs patience?
What?
Doctors.
That was so funny I forgot to laugh.
Pat, where are we at time-wise? Should we hit him with the socials?
Yeah, it's about a good time to hit him with the socials.
Pat, molest him with the socials.
All right, let me bring you over here to my closet of socials, and we can discuss the monster.
You can find us on Twitter at Punishment. I'm the fun one.
Just remember, I'm the fun one.
Was it good for you too? I need a cigarette.
Wesley actually does need a cigarette, so let's hit him with the socials so Wesley can get that cigarette. All right, you can find us at Wesley's Noisy Foam on Twitter. All right, you can find us at Those Muckrakers on Twitter. If you'd like to send us your own Dear Wesley and talk about the kids that you play with and show your monster, you can do so at those muckrakers at gmail.com. Send us in your own Dear Wesley, and we can give you life advice, which you definitely should not follow. If you would like to support us financially, buy our book, Dusk Belt, Book 1. It is Give Me Back My Life. It's a fun story about a guy that comes home to a doppelganger. Super Lad will be out as soon as Peter is done reading the manuscript, so 2024. 2025, somewhere around that. Don't worry, we're gonna work on a new way to like.
It's like Marvel Phase 1 and 2. It's gonna take 8 years, but trust me, you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
it's not that long of a book. You should have already had it done.
Wesley's read it, and he's Wesley.
Fair enough.
And you know how long I take to read shit?
You're shaming me now.
We're emasculating you in front of your girlfriend. You're gonna have to jump out the bathroom window, but you don't have one, so you're gonna have to kick out the wall, enter the neighbor's house, and run through the door.
Dear Wesley, am I the asshole? I kicked through my friend's wall in his bathroom, and then kicked through the neighbor's wall to get away from family dinner. I kicked through like 3 walls, Wesley.
It's only okay if you emasculate. Wait a minute, what was I saying?
Mayonnaise, a lot of emasculations in here.
I'm the fun one!
He is the fun one.
And if you need a good taste sensation, always add a little Mrs. Dash.
I thought you were about to say semen.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
You and yours.